Welcome to the final episode of Season 5 and the last one for 2024. We're wrapping up the year with a special highlights reel of the best moments from this season. Our incredible guests brought insights to help you, our resilient entrepreneurs, level up your game. With topics from learning how to avoid being a bottleneck in your business by outsourcing to a VA, to simple yet powerful self-care tips like taking just 1 minute a day for you. And of course, we never shy away from the personal development side of entrepreneurship because, let's face it, this is the ultimate self-discovery adventure. We also want to take a moment to thank you, our amazing listener or viewer, for being part of this community over the last couple of years. We hope our show has influenced your growth and helped you take action towards your big, beautiful, bold business dreams. From the team at Resilient Entrepreneurs, we wish you a joyful, healthy holiday. Oh, and guess what? Big things are coming in 2025. We can't wait to roll out some exciting updates, including new services to support you in even more tangible, results-driven ways. So grab a festive drink, enjoy the highlights, and we'll see you in the new year. Episode 108, Ernesto Mandowski. Are you overwhelming your business? Stop now.
Identify the priorities, identify the people, identify when you're going to check in with them next, the initiatives, the tasks, the content that they're doing, everything. Put it down on paper and put it in their Notion systems. And after 3 months, they have something that they can give to someone else to delegate to so that they can own it, so that the founder can exclusively focus on growth. Instead of trying to wear all the hats and do all the things, they can exclusively focus on growth, be in their unique ability, and attract new people to the company. And that's what they can bring the new life force to the business.
Episode 102, Elizabeth Ice. Hey, startup founder, what's your ROI on your time?
Where I've ended up going is what I call the ROI of time. And the first thing that I end up talking to people about is what's an hour of your time worth? And it's never $10. So if they stop thinking about the cash they have on hand and they start thinking about the value of their time, it shifts them into a different mindset. It doesn't solve the cash problem, but they start to appreciate the fact that, okay, there's all this core, what I call core work of the business, which is revenue generating. That's what your clients value. This is why they come to you. And then there's all this non-core work. There's a cost to the business. You still need to do it to run your business or to run a decent business in things like accounting or whatever it might be. But there's lots of needs. And my whole idea is every business has a back room. Every 27 million solopreneurs have a back room, and they should not be doing that work.
Episode 105, Leanne Lai Lakaba. What not to do when hiring your VA.
Then you are not anymore the bottleneck of, I'm the only person who can do this. No one else in the company or in the world could do this. But in reality, if you're able to break it down and actually write it out, then you don't have to be that bottleneck. You can take a day off or a week off from your business because it's taken care of.
Episode 106, Dr. Nikisha Hammond. Be your first priority and business will thrive.
Something I always recommend for people to do daily is what I call take a minute. And in that minute, what you do is you make sure you have that time. You can even time yourself with your cell phone, 60 seconds. You have that time for yourself. So if that means taking deep breaths, which is a highly underrated thing to do, very beneficial physically and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for you to do. But if it's just taking some deep breaths, if you believe in prayer and it's prayer, if you want to take a walk outside, I'm a big nature lover, like whatever it is for those 60 seconds a day, you start to retrain your brain to understand that you deserve to reset and recharge yourself, and you deserve to be emotionally healthy, and you deserve to have joy.
Episode 109, Colleen Slaughter. What you didn't know about being an entrepreneur.
So my belief system is that we all come in with a soul contract, like a purpose of what we're going to do in this lifetime. And I do believe this is my sole purpose. And so with that, for me, what that means is that doors will open. They just open. And then I also get this internal lighting up happening when it's the right thing for me. So I always been, I believe, blessed with this, I guess some people would call it intuition. It probably is, but it feels even stronger than that, that I just know when I have to do something.
Episode 113, Pam Buchanan. What I learned working alongside Elon Musk.
I always go with my intuition, right? But it doesn't mean it's easy. So that's why people I believe they should get comfortable with uncomfortable, right? When they know in their gut something doesn't feel right. And that's where the universe will then reward you at a higher level, right? Because I was truly going out of my passion, like I want to experience a different lifestyle.
Episode 111, Donna Amelia. How to build your dream business.
Practice in your mind. And if you know that even the Formula One player, right, not only they will practice in the field, but they also practice in their mind as if they're already, like driving and so on. So practice is very important, either verbally, lively, or at least in your mind, in your heart. Practice is important. And then perform. When you do the action, do it to 100%, and then go to the evaluation of yourself with the state of being grateful and happy, and congratulate yourself because you already did your best. And accept whatever happened, it's beyond your control.
Episode 103, Mikal Dia, Online Sales Secrets.
So at every stage of that journey, at every stage of that funnel, you're trying to build that know, like, and trust aspect, right? So typically, I think what they say is that it takes around 7 touch points for somebody to go from a random stranger to then having enough trust and belief in what you offer to go and actually become a customer, right? So in all of those 7 touch points, you are building trust. You are getting people to know you, and you're getting, to some degree, getting them to like you, right? And like what you offer. So when you think about the funnel and you think about these different touch points, at some stage, you're going to have to introduce trust. Okay, well, what's trust? There's proof, there's belief that you can deliver on what it is that you deliver. So somewhere in there, you're going to have a message that explains to the person in front of you that I understand your pain, I understand what you're trying to achieve. Here's some proof that I've been able to solve it. And then that will kind of check off that trust box. Okay.
Episode 115, Tanya Alvarez. What is accountability for entrepreneurs?
So I recently just did a century ride, which is 100 miles on a bike. And when you're in a group, you go so much faster and it's so much fun. Even if you're going at a fast pace, it was great. So I was going like 23 miles per hour, which was like super fast for me, that I would never be able to do it on my own. Then all of a sudden, someone in the group was going way too fast up a hill and I couldn't handle that one. So I got dropped and then I was by myself. And guess what? When you're by yourself, you start spiraling down. There was thoughts like, I'm going to quit. This is not going to happen. This is so hard. How many more miles? My legs are cramping, like everything you can imagine. And then you get like a break, you get water. And then I joined another group and I was back at it. It was like seamless. It was like not like if I wasn't even on a bike ride. So on alone, it's just, you're burning out. It's just, you're in your thoughts and you just need that perspective, right? And that helps you out because you're just like, oh, I'm not alone in this. People are.
Episode 112, Rashid Mubashir, a masterclass on perspective, pain, and progress as an entrepreneur.
Most people spend their life not listening to the whisper inside because they're too scared to act on their dreams because of the need for certainty and security. And I think that need is valid, of course. However, when you listen to that whisper on the inside, it doesn't mean that you let go of the needs that you must fulfill as a human being. What that means is, though, you can start taking one step at a time, one small step at a time, because the compound effect of you continuing to take one small step at a time now, today, in this moment, hearing that whisper on the inside it's incalculable in this moment, but it's profound in 5 and 10 years.
Episode 104, Jonathan Clark. Your business will fail if you don't do this.
There's a lot of self-development that has to happen before you can really be successful at business, because you can't manage the type of success and wealth being the same person who you are today. So before you can actually experience that, there has to be self-growth, and that involves your self-image, your self-worth, like all these different things like that, because that right there determines how well that you're able to grow your business.
Episode 110, J.F. La Paz. Find your purpose in business through vulnerability.
The topic of this podcast is about resilience through vulnerability. Us opening up and sharing something that's deeply personal and putting ourselves in a vulnerable position is hopefully helping our viewers or listeners kind of reflect on that and the fact that it can be a safe space and it should feel okay opening up about the challenges, right? Instead of hardening up and protecting yourself and then kind of living in this echo chamber of your mind where you're caught with your own thoughts. And I don't know about you, but like my thoughts are like terrible guides. The voice in my head rarely gets it right, but always has an opinion.
Episode 116, Todd Holzman. Stop solving the problem.
But one of the things is, this is embedded in our REAL framework, REAL, is get agreement on the problem, discuss the problem, and get agreement on the problem before you talk about solutions. It seems obvious that we should do that, but it's common sense, but not conventionally practiced by any stretch of the imagination. And even that one realization, it's like, I better talk about and get agreement on the problem before we even with a solution is so important. So like if you're an entrepreneur and you've got somebody in your team, for example, if you're going to recommend that, and let's say you see some performance gap or opportunity, and you've got ideas about what you want them to do differently, they're not going to do any of that unless they agree they have a performance gap or opportunity. And they're motivated to do something about it. And how could they possibly agree to it if you can't talk about it? Yeah. Right? So you better talk about it and get agreement to it.
Episode 107, Jason Vanderveer. Dreams versus goals. How to achieve both in business.
I feel like now it's more figuring out, getting very clear on where we want to go. The first couple steps, having a somewhat high-level plan of the middle steps isn't a bad thing. I think that's good, but just trust it's going to get clear as you start going. I'll tell my clients, and I rant about on my podcast all the time, action brings clarity. It's like, just take one step, the next one will be way clear. Action brings clarity.
Episode 117, Scott Greats. The law of reciprocity and how it works in business.
So the journey I thought I was on was all the things that many entrepreneurs think that they want, which is freedom of time and financial freedom and, just legacy and all super important stuff, right? But really now closing in on 50, it's really about the meaning and purpose and serving those people that are in the shoes that I was once in. So biggest challenge really has been that shift from learning and thinking. Your intro talks about slaying the dragon. And when I was listening to it, I was like, immediately I said, well, you can slay a dragon, but there's two more behind that dragon. And when you slay those two, there's four behind that. And really this idea that there's always new beginnings, but there's never an end to this. And so I was playing out of the gate to get to the end, to the result, to success. And now I've learned that success is really just knowing that there's just multiple new beginnings. There's always new dragons.
Episode 118, Marcela Andres. Inner battle or business breakthrough?
I think we're conditioned to think that we can do things on our own. And you get so focused on like, oh, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to go here. And it's me. But that dragon really deflects from this like collective effort. Like you're not alone. And when you have a vision, you really have to bring people alongside with you, including that dragon. And you have to say like, let me harness your power, dragon, to, amplify what we're doing here. And so I would say that it certainly morphs into that. And, I may have mentioned this early, like it's sometimes not even slaying that dragon, but it's dancing with that dragon. And